Hello folks, how you all doing? Hope you're all keeping well. So you got one guess on what we're going to be working on today. Yep, it's about time we fixed Doris and got it back on the road. It's only a small axle replacement, but let's see how that goes. Just in case you haven't seen any of the previous videos on Doris the Fordson WOT6, this little accident happened while we were in Dunkirk last year, September 2024, when we were supposed to be taking part in the 80th anniversary of Operation Market Garden. As you can see, didn't quite go according to plan, and we ended up getting stuck in Dunkirk and have to basically limp it back to Dover and then onto a recovery truck and home. But we have another axle now which has been rebuilt. When I say rebuilt, in the loosest possible terms, you can't actually get any parts for the Fordson WOT6. One Fordson rear axle. Now, funnily enough, this is the original rear axle that came off Doris when I first got it. And as I've said before, clearly it's a bit of a common fault, because that big old chunky bearing at the front there had broken up on it before. The reason they tend to cause problems is the front bearing is lubricated by that little hole there. So the oil comes in from the diff through that tiny little hole to lubricate the front bearing, and then lays oil inside the torque tube. Now on this axle here, let's say this was the original one from Doris, just from years of neglect, that oil had been completely block solid, filled up with crud, rust and all kinds of rubbish, and the front bearing had run dry and disintegrated. And being a torque tube, you can't see it, you can't feel it until it just goes bang. So this axle has been rebuilt using second-hand parts, just purely because you can't get any parts for a Fordson WOT6. I've tried. The axle currently on Doris came out of a scrapyard, so this one, fingers crossed, needs must. Like I say, it's had a few repairs inside. I'm not going to go into it. From an engineering point of view, you'll all be going, oh my god, that's not going to last. Well, don't have much of an option really. It's either crack on, get it back on the road for this year's season for all the 80th anniversaries, or VE Day and VJ Day, or it just sits here for another year till I can get one made. So, like I say, needs must. We've put it back together. It feels pretty good. Very little slack in the bearings. They all turn nicely. So fingers crossed, it'll certainly get us through this season. And if at some point at a later date we have to have a bit of engineering done to get a new pinion and crown wheel made, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Just a quick background on Doris here. It's a 1944 Fordson WOT6 machinery body truck. Restoration was started in 2021, finished in 2023. So, like most commercials, wheel nuts, right hand threaded on one side, left hand threaded on the other side. Half shafts were removed when we were in Dunkirk, just to sort of save any damage on the vehicle. The nuts have been cracked off, so we'll get the jack out, get some stands. Get it all set up how I need it set up. And then get the rear axle bolted. Wheel it out somehow. And, you know, quite simply, just pop the replacement one back in. Easy. Quick tip if you've never done anything like this before, do not lay these wheels down. They weigh about 110 kilos and are an absolute bugger to pick up again. Right, it's all jacked up. As you see, every precaution has been taken for health and safety. Okay, some precautions have been taken for health and safety. Basically, do not try this at home. If you literally have no other choice, this way does work. I know, I've done it before. But definitely don't do it yourself. Not unless you're stupid enough like me. The two high lift jacks are purely there as an extra precaution. All the weight is on the central jack. It does work. It gives you absolute complete clearance to get the axle out. Just looks a little bit precarious. So for those of you not sure what a torque tube is, that's a torque tube there. There's an internal prop shaft. That's why I said you can't see, there's no bearings, and there's no UJs, no universal joints that are exposed. So you can't check if any play in the bearings. It's a completely sealed unit, which I'm sure when it was first designed seemed like a really good idea. But from a maintenance point of view, a total and utter pain in the backside. Right, that's the easy part done. One axle out. Fordson did actually have quite a clever idea. So instead of undoing the U-bolts and dropping off the springs, they've got these pivot brackets. There's the bottom cap there, which are greased. They allow the axle to rotate. This is all basically because there isn't a universal joint at the rear. So they've massively had to over-engineer it to allow the axle to pivot. Good thing being, it's just two bolts either side. Axle drops out. All right, let's have a look in here. Okay. Yeah, it looks a bit of a mess already. And that's before we even sort of take it apart. That's not going to help. As you can see, the oil way I talked about earlier, there's obviously a bit of broken bearing. Gone straight in, jammed in there. Okay. All we got to do now is get this small, very light, very easy to move rear axle that probably only weighs about 200 kilos. Good job. We have a forklift. There's the other axle. He's down there. Ah, wish me luck. Just a quick look at the inside of the torque tube. Yeah, one internal prop shaft. Right, it's in. A little bit of a struggle. What we got there? Job done. Right, I think that's time for a cup of tea. Okay, we're all finished and it's time to do the road test. Hopefully you can hear. Doris is not exactly what you call quiet. So I'll apologise now if the sound isn't that great when we're inside the cab. Those of you who've never seen the inside of a WOT6 before, now we're going to try and attempt one-handed to get into a Fordson WOT6. Easier said than done, but we're in. Right, time to hand the camera over to my camera assistant and let's get this road test underway. Right, we're ready to do the first road test now, so wish me luck, keep fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. Just in case you're wondering, Doris is extremely slow. And now managed to go and take it 15 miles per hour. And you don't double the clutch in Doris, you triple the clutch.
of the good things about driving Doris is there's never any traffic in front of you. I don't know why. But on a 1944 vehicle, Doris does have a straight cut gearbox. It's noisy as hell. Changing up the pain in the backside, changing down even more of that pain in the backside. That's discipline of driving old vehicles. Ah, that's better, nice and quiet. A very sedated 20 miles an hour. So one of the other things you've got to do with the Fordson WOT6 and any vehicles this age is remember that the Fordsons don't have any hydraulics. All the brakes are cable and rod. So you need to go to plan in advance when you want to brake. Which is not helped by people driving modern cars thinking that you're going to be able to stop them. It's not happening. So far so good, everything seems to be going okay. Right, okay, where's the smooth as it can be? As smooth as it can be for a WOT6 anyway. There's definitely no need to go to the gym when we're driving the Fordson WOT6. Never have that pop out by the time we're finished. Right, road test complete. Fingers crossed everything was good, sounded good, seemed to drive well. I will jump out in a minute, check that it's still, have a quick look underneath, make sure it's got all its fluids, which will be fantastic. But other than that, yeah, road test complete. Happy so far.
Right, road test completed and successful. I had my head underneath, had a quick look. It seems to be retaining all its fluids, which is always a bonus. So hopefully now, this is Doris done and dusted, although these old vehicles are never really done and dusted. There's always something to do on them. But hopefully for this season, Doris will be good to go. We'll get it to the shows, and now I can start concentrating on Bernard. All the little odd jobs, as far as I'm aware, have been done, but being an old vehicle, there's always something else to do. But as far as I'm concerned right now, Doris has had enough work. Should be show season ready, he says. Okay, so if you've enjoyed this video, please tick the like and please subscribe. The next videos, so we'll be cracking on with Bernard. So you know, if you have previously subscribed or you're new to this channel, you know, keep watching. Bernard will be getting video next, and we will be progressing. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.